I believe that the most important thing that everyone who uses iPhoto should know is where and how iPhoto stores all of your images. And this is all controlled by one tiny little setting right here in the iPhoto preferences called Copy Items to the iPhoto Library. Hi, I'm Curtis Beisel from Scan Your Entire Life. And the reason why this is the most important thing is because iPhoto is a non-destructive photo manager. It was built to hold and protect all of your important images. I like to think of a photo manager like a house. You go through life acquiring things, and where do you keep these things? You keep them in your house. And iPhoto works the same way. Now, iPhoto is made up of two separate things. The first thing is the application itself. If I go into my application folder, my user settings, and scroll down, you'll see the application right here. And then the second thing is the iPhoto library file. And this is the house that I spoke of. And typically this is stored in your pictures folder in your user settings. I click right here in the Finder application, you'll see the iPhoto library. Now this just happens to be a brand new iPhoto library that I just created. And you can see it's a really small 7.5 megabytes in size. In fact, if I close this out, you'll see how new this is because I have 0 events and 0 photos in this library. And because this is a new library, iPhoto gives you some help right here how to bring in your first set of photos. So let's do that. I have 2 photos right here on my desktop that I'm going to bring in. And the first way to bring them in is to highlight them and then click and drag them into the library. You can see it says importing, and there they are. We have 2 photos inside of the library. And for simplicity's sake, I labeled them photo 1 and photo 2. And so here's what I want you to understand. If we go back to the Finder application here on my main hard drive and click on the pictures folder that we were in before, you can see that the iPhoto library is now larger. It's now 16.6 megabytes. And the reason for this is because these 2 photos were originally stored on my desktop. And when we drug them into the iPhoto library, it copied them into the library. It duplicated them. So now we have 2 copies of each photo. And the reason why that happened was because of that very important setting that we talked about earlier. If we go back into iPhoto and the Preferences, under the Advanced tab, you'll see that under Importing, there's a check mark next to Copy Items to the iPhoto Library. And the reason why this is the default import settings in iPhoto is because Apple wants to protect all of your images. It knows that the average user doesn't want to be responsible for the storage of all their photos. So inside of this iPhoto library, it's protecting your images for you. Okay, so then what would happen if we unchecked this little box? Think of it like storing some of your books or your furnishings or your jewelry outside on your front lawn. It's still on your property, but they're not being protected inside of your locked house. So let me show you how the second way of importing would work. I'm going to close this out and then go to these 2 images I have in a USB thumb drive I have connected to my computer. I'm going to drag these 2 files, images labeled 3 and 4, into iPhoto. And now you can see these 2 photos were added to a separate event. So I have 2 events. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to merge these 2 together so I have just one event. Do you want to merge these events? Merge. And now I'm going to go into the event, and you'll see all 4 photos, 1, 4, 2, 3, out of order. So I'm going to go to View, Sort Photos by Title. And now they're in order. And if we click on each of these photos, you'll see that they seem to be working fine. And here's how life happens. I'm going to close out iPhoto, and let's say that you unmount your USB thumb drive. Days go by, weeks go by, and let's just say you've lost that USB thumb drive. You can't find it anywhere. And then you load up iPhoto again. We'll sort these photos again. This one seems fine. This one seems fine. Uh-oh. So here lies the potential problem for deselecting that default setting. You are now responsible for protecting all of your photos that you import when that setting is deselected. iPhoto is no longer responsible for managing and protecting these photos. If you turn that setting off, It's completely your responsibility to make sure that nothing happens to those photos that you import that way. You don't want to accidentally move them or delete them, or iPhoto will no longer be able to find them. And you'll get this message right here. The volume for such and such a photo cannot be found. And then you're going to be asked to click on certain buttons here and locate these photos for it. But I want you to understand that this is actually a really good thing. This gives people the option, if they want using iPhoto, to store their photos wherever they'd like to. You could have all of your photos spread across multiple external hard drives if you wanted. Or you could just have them in multiple folders of your choice on your system hard drive. By deselecting this import option, it gives you a choice. If you found this information helpful and you're serious about your digital photo collection, I would encourage you to come to my website and sign up for my mailing list. You'll start to receive my free informational email series on the best ways to organize and share your digital as well as your scanned print and slide collections. Remember, I'm here to help. In fact, if you have any questions about the video you just watched, come to my webpage about this video at scanyourentireLife.com/YT4, that's YouTube video 4, or click on the link I listed in the information below if you're watching this video on YouTube.com. Alright, take care. Cheers.